I'm going to quickly begin quicker than I usually do, just because of the fact that there is 2 minutes to go, and we've just barely met quorum here, but all opposition parties are completely absent. The Labour Party, the largest opposition, absent. Fianna Fáil, absent, and the Green Party, absent. All opposition parties are not here. The only parties that are here are the Social Democrats and Fine Gael, but both are still in small numbers. I believe the Social Democrats have a very large attendance, um, but even then, I believe it's maybe around 7, if I had to estimate. I'm not actually too sure what the Dáil will do at this point. They'll probably just adjourn. But I suppose we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I mean, personally, I've never seen this, so I'm quite surprised. Okay, hopefully. Yeah, 7:59. 1 minute to go. Yeah, no opposition has turned up, which, I mean, it is in accordance with the process that they have set out to try and get the CC removed. But I believe I do have to mention that we will have to vote on. Well, the Dáil will be voting on the motion of confidence submitted into the CC's office, made by herself. But now the national anthem will begin playing. I mean, I think this will be a short stream anyway. And with that, the anthem's done. We have Lewis. I'm not going to even try to pronounce that, but one of the group administrators here, watching over the session. So hello. Yeah. So with the opposition upholding their protests to not turn up, I believe we'll just vote on the confidence motion against the chair, and then I would presume adjourn. First leaders' questions. Now we have the skipped ministers, I believe. Oh no, we're going straight to questions 20 shock. Who've been asked to rise if they want to, ask a question, but no one has risen, so we now move on to ministers' questions. Again, no one seems to be rising to ask a question. I mean, the only thing I can commentate on here is our T-Shock uses Head and Shoulders. I didn't know he had dandruff. We now have a statement by T-Shock. I believe this would be in regards to, the complete absence of any opposition. And apparently there are more reactions to. I mean, if this is true, apparently there were more reactions to a message they had sent than any votes the opposition got. I'm quickly going to check this, because if that is true, that is 46 people reacted, which I'm going to very quickly check the election results. I do see Bo raising her hand. I'm not sure if she's still in, but if you are, I will bring you up as soon as possible. I just want to confirm this. Again, allow me just a moment there. Oh, he is right, just barely. Any opposition party, Labour got 45 votes and there were 46 reactions. So yeah, they have that reaction alone got more reactions than any opposition party did votes. Which is quite appalling, I would say, to have the entire nation so dedicated to that one thing. It also shows that I think the Social Democrats still have a lot behind them. A lot of their voters are still active. And I mean, dare I say, we could see a Social Democratic majority with the amount of votes we saw there. I mean, this is very far into the future. We've only just come out of an election, but I mean, I don't know what else there is to comment on if the opposition just isn't going to turn up. But I will now invite the leader of the Green Party to come up and talk.
Can you hear me? No offense, Dan, but what you just said in that last minute was
if you're speaking, I can't hear you. I'm not sure.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Can someone in general chat quickly tell me if you can hear her? Okay, so you can hear. Okay, give me a second. I apologise. I mean, she could say anything right now, and I'd get in very deep trouble. Let me quickly go.
Yeah, Dan stinks.
Sorry, I'm trying to sort this. I apologise.
So.
Oh no, I can hear you now. I can hear you now. I apologise. Right. So, Can
I just say something?
Yeah, of course.
What you just said before you brought me up was just pure glaze. I think what we've seen from this government is nothing but chaos and, destruction. And they've put in a TD who's delivered low standards. She's delivered low engagement. Don't know who elected her apart from the government. And you wonder why the government overly voted in a poll. It's because the government has over 30 members or 30 votes compared to the second largest party within the Dáil. The opposition is at a major disadvantage as Oscar has rallied anyone from any different nation to come in protest to stop a successive and a bold government from being created within the opposition, not his government. All they are is a bunch of sheeps and a bunch of turncoats. Cough, cough, Will.
But I think you could argue that these sheep are what win elections, as proven by the fact that there are more reactions in a government announcement than votes by any other party. I would say that is quite the statement, and definitely shows longevity and how well the Social Democrats are doing. I don't mean to support this party, and I'm not trying to publicly support them, but to get more votes on a government announcement than any other party got, that is quite the achievement, I would argue.
Well, he's actually lied to the electorate. He said that he would create Job Centre Ireland, but the chief registrar is so against it that he won't be able to create it. And he wouldn't even need to create it because it already exists. He just needs to utilise it. He talks about being a trailblazer within the north of Ireland, but he's consistently undermined the opposition and their opinions, but he's also attacked the government on foreign affairs, especially within Gibraltar, and then later he became part of the Gibraltar cabinet, and then he actually said that he loves Gibraltar. He's just a flip-flopper, and I'm so glad that the opposition have come together and said that we're not going to put up with what Oscar has to say about CC picks, because this CC, she's as useful as a chocolate teacup. Her poster is as crap as a crap.
This
And
this was a poster you
yeah,
made.
I did not make that
Oh,
poster.
I thought it was. Never mind. I thought you'd
She
made that. Oh,
she
okay.
made the poster.
Okay, I apologise. I thought I saw you post it. Never mind. Sorry.
She's atrocious. She really needs to calm down, and I think she needs to resign. I think she needs to go back into the SD benches, because that's where her true allegiance lies. It doesn't lie to the people, or the people in the Dáil. It doesn't lie with the people of the nation. She's solely there because she's an SD. No other reason.
Well, I think that I feel quite strongly about this because you have, in my personal opinion, you have silenced an entire electorate, which was basically it was half the vote. You have suppressed half the seats that were given out because, and you won't vote against the person who was put in office. I do. I'm not phrasing this very good, but half the seats are now being suppressed because you're unhappy with the current CC.
If the government really wants to, be productive, they can ask questions to each other. I have no question because all they do is heckle and attack me, and the CC does nothing. I'm
You
sorry.
did also heckle in the chamber. You've heckled quite a
That's
lot.
because my time was being wasted by some useless turncoat that shouldn't have been doing it. It's crap. That's the whole
So it's okay
system.
for them to do it, but not for you. It's okay
No,
for you to do it, but not for them.
I wanted to ask a question. Okay, I am entitled as a party leader to ask a question.
But even
My
after you asked that question, you kept heckling.
No, I never got to ask my question because, I asked two questions, but I need to focus on all aspects of government, and no one else was standing but me, and I was rejected because Leah had this sole objective to allow this turncoat, because he switched from Labour to SD to make a statement for no reason. No reason at all. What he delivered in the business department was low growth, low prosperity. I don't know why we should be celebrating his time there. He did not leave the Dáil. We shouldn't have said that he was leaving the Dáil, because he wasn't leaving the Dáil, because he's staying as a TD just for the Social Democrats. What you have just said is it's showing how politicised RTE is right now. I think we need to restore. No.
Okay.
We need to restore, because you're defending a system that has repeatedly attacked me and other opposition parties for having a different view, having a different stance on a policy. Oscar has done this all the time. He claims that, Job Centre Ireland needs to be created into legislation. It already exists. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't want to argue in the case of RTE here, or try and express saying that we are politically neutral. You can file reports if you are unhappy with how I present, but I believe these are questions many people are asking, and I would say you're being very hypocritical of the government by saying that they're heckling and you're not turning up because they're heckling when you have heckled yourself and constantly called out the government even when it's not your time to talk. I mean, the government does it too. It doesn't make it right from either bench to do it, but you cannot call the kettle black. You can't act as if you're not doing the same thing. That was just something that concerned me.
The difference was that I wasn't actually heckling. I told the deputy that he shouldn't be able to take question times to make a statement about him leaving a different party and moving to another one. That is not heckling. And then when I told him that he was taking up my time, I got warned by the CC for no reason. And then the CC had the absolute disgrace to eject me because I made a snarky comment about him taking up our time. It was right. I'm sorry, it was right. And the Minister of Business has constantly attacked me. He's even attacked me today, and she's done nothing. She's as useful as a chocolate teacup. She needs to resign. She needs to get gone, and she needs to get off Oscar's lap. That's what she needs to do, and she needs to resign. She needs to go back to her NUJ position and resign. That's what she needs to do, because she's doing an awful job. Sorry.
Sorry, who was that about?
Leah. God,
Okay.
I hate her.
I mean, you've made that very, very clear. I do have to say that
Oh, is
your hatred
is
for her does quite surprising. I didn't know you could hate an individual so much, especially over Discord. But
You
again,
know, oh,
also,
she's finally doing her job now. She's finally telling a member to withdraw a phrase. Well, time's too late. You've messed it up, Leah. We don't have confidence in you. You need to accept it. You need to resign, and you need to get going.
okay, I will quickly note that if anyone has a problem with the questions I've asked or does believe that I'm very politically biased, that we do now have people who are chairing things to make sure that I am neutral. So if you would like to go and file reports, I'm very happy for you to do so. Unfortunately, there are no Social Democrats here right now. Otherwise, I would ask questions to them as well. But if there is a Social Democrat representative that wants to come up right now, I am happy to give you questions too. But currently, I only have the Green Party leader here, so I'm not sure.
It's because I'm really passionate about this issue right now. I may be boycotting, but I'm accepting the fact that things have not been going well. I've been a victim of all this thing, and no one seems to care, not even the CC. I'm fed up of it. I should not be getting attacked because I have a different opinion or different belief, or I'm asking a question that is valid. It's a valid question. I'm sorry, the Taoiseach cannot just say in his programme for government that he's creating Job Centre Ireland when it already exists. And then now, my question this week would be, what plans would the Taoiseach have this week? Because the Chief Registrar is very much against Job Centre Ireland, and what is he actually doing about the business crisis that we've got? Because he's completely got rid of contribution. He's got rid of opportunity, and he's just causing more chaos.
Hold on, I do have Noah here, a Social Democrat representative, so I'll be happy to voice your concerns to him as well. So, I mean, I will very quickly get this question out. Something Bo has been very centred on is the fact that you're trying to re-establish Job Centre Ireland. Now, personally, I haven't
No,
seen this. So, what is the government Job Centre Ireland? Sorry, what?
no, he's trying to create it when it already
What this
exists.
is, right, is a bunch of rhetoric from an opposition which is boycotting for no
No,
real
no,
good
no.
reason.
That's not the question I was trying to ask. What is happening with Job Centre Ireland? Currently, the government has promised that they will re-release it, but we haven't seen anything on it so far. I mean, I personally haven't. Can you tell us more about it?
All I'll say is, really, it wasn't created and it was repealed. So technically, it doesn't exist. And so basically, what we're talking about is a non-existent thing, really.
But your
That's
government,
it.
your program for government said you're going to re-establish it. So why hasn't it been re-established yet?
Oh, right, hold on. One sec. Bleh.
Oh,
Sorry, can you read?
I don't think he realizes that the Chief Registrar is actually against it. So there's no point in creating it anymore. If the
I
guy,
didn't even hear the question because my microphone was being stupid. Can you repeat that?
if he's already obliterated the business department, he's going to destroy Job Centre Ireland next.
Yeah, well, currently the government has promised that they will re-release Job Centre Ireland. So why hasn't it happened yet? You've repealed the legislation, but currently I haven't seen any legislation trying to recreate it. So what's happening with Job Centre Ireland? And how can we trust that our workers will still be able to get jobs easily?
Well, at the minute, it's our first week, so not everything's going to be done in the blink of an eye, really. But by the end of the term, it will definitely be done. I can definitely say that. We can't expect everything to just be happening in such a quick time.
So why didn't you keep it?
Want to see.
So why didn't you keep Job Centre Ireland before you actually had a plan to re-establish it?
Well, what this is, right? Oh my god, what the fuck? Hold on. Keeps speaker. Hold on.
Okay. I hope that was good enough for everyone thinking that I am biased. I'm trying to ask questions to everyone. Anyway, whilst we wait for him to fix his mic, Bo, I mean, you've gone on a massive attack on Job Centre Ireland, but what about other parts of the government? Why have you only criticised Job?
Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'll give you just a second. Why have you criticise only Job Centre and not try to go after anything else the government has done?
Well, I think that our massive issue in Ireland is contribution, and that starts in the business sector. What we need is to utilise the Spotlight Awards. We need to, establish Job Centre Ireland, even though the Chief Registrar and, the government seem to not care about it. But we also need to develop a resource pool for...
You had a term, like so many
sorry,
weeks
sorry.
to do it, and yet you didn't do it. Why are you now saying
If
all
you
of
would
this?
let me... hold on. If you would let me speak, I would answer. So, in...
You keep making
No,
false
I do
promises.
want to hear the answer, please.
So when I was in the last government, I did not create the programme for government. The Taoiseach created it. And I'll be honest, I wasn't even in the ministerial portfolio of business. I haven't touched business since Niamh Clark was Taoiseach. But what I did in that job, I wanted to deliver 24 hours delivery. And that started by recruiting more registrars. And I have done that. I am the one I did bring in contribution, but unfortunately, most of them registrars have been sacked or fired.
Okay, I will quickly go back over to the Social Democrats. Again, Job Centre Ire, why have you tried re-establishing it when the system already existed, but now you're trying to re-establish it when you haven't even got legislation ready to try and make sure it's up and running again? These are valuable jobs that people could be having right now, but they aren't because Job Centre Ireland isn't currently up. Why haven't we established it sooner?
It was never implemented, and plus, how would you know if it's not ready or not when we've only had basically one sitting, and not only that, but the old system. Well, when I say system, is a big quote unquote system, was basically useless and didn't work. So we've repealed it, and we're going to make it much more effective. That's the plan.
But why have you done this when you had no plan beforehand to try and back it up? Because currently we are left without any way for anyone to get a job in Ireland right now, unless you are directly DM'd, which are over 1,000 people in this server.
Hold on. Can you just also confirm it's also about private employment and public employment as well?
Yeah, I'm mainly focused on private employment because I think public employment is within the job of the government, not Job Centre Ireland. But yes, that is something also important to mention. But I am very focused on private employment here because, these are businesses keep Ireland afloat, yet you haven't come up with any way to allow these private businesses to keep flourishing.
It's only been a week. Let's be real. It's only been a week. Things take time. And listen, I would love for this to happen immediately. And don't get me wrong, I would love for this to even happen today if we had the time. But as I mentioned, things take time, and if we want to get it right, sometimes it will take a bit of time. So we want to make sure that we get it right, and then that way we can. It'll be a very functioning system.
Can I just say something?
Okay, go ahead.
Tonight I will actually be. I will be creating legislation, then re-establishing it, and we'll see if the government supports it or if they say no to it tomorrow. But I'm all for working with the government on the business. I'm not having a go at them.
Yeah, you're boycotting the door.
I wasn't talking about the door. I was talking about the business department.
I do want to quickly bring up this. How are you going to submit legislation, then not turn up to vote on that piece of legislation? Are you going to excuse this? Are you going to excuse this protest just so you can push forward your own bill?
Well,
I just say something. If they're going to turn up for a legislative session but boycott the questions chamber, that's not really a protest now, is it? It's just, it's not really a protest, so to speak, or boycott. It's just, we'll decide when we turn up and whatnot. So really, if they are turning up for legislative sessions, why are they calling this even a protest at all? I don't even know what the question is behind that.
Well, I want to establish Job Centre Ireland, so I would feel so strongly to turn up just
you
for
want to.
bill.
You haven't done it. You haven't done it. You're so passionate about it.
No, but you haven't gone into the door and started asking questions about this.
I have. I've raised this question multiple times.
But
I
you
raised
didn't do
And
it
yet you've acted
today.
like a petulant child
I raised
since
it
because
last
you've been.
session. I raised it last session and the session before that. I'm sorry. I won't be called a liar by RTE.
I'm not
What
trying
I
to
have,
call you a
what I,
liar. I'm trying to establish the fact that you could have come up here today and asked the question again, keep pressuring the government, but instead you decided to boycott it and stay home.
No, the real reason is because we're being, attacked and heckled by the government. That is why
When?
we have.
When?
I'm
When
sorry,
was that?
scripted Sid.
When
Do you
was
want
that?
to Sid has said? Right, let's pull up mine and Leah's DMs.
That's Leah's. She's not even part of the caucus now. She's
Oh my god,
resigning the chamber.
are you deaf? Are you not listening? I literally said.
No,
I
my hearing's
said-
working fine, thank you.
You're literally deaf. So shut up. Shut up. Right. Deputy scripted Sid, shut up, you sad lady. Sorry, is that not heckling?
Did you write?
Am I
Did
not-
you raise a point of
Words
order
not
on that though?
I did, and she ignored me. She walked out the chamber, and then I actually confronted her about it.
So
And she
why
did
haven't
nothing.
why haven't you released this in evidence dockets that have been
Listen,
asked
let's be
multiple
real here.
times?
When they
Oh,
say
Noah,
confronted,
just a
they mean
second, just a
boycotted
second.
because they wanted to have
Noah.
they wanted to act. Well, things didn't go their way, and well, look where we are now.
Right, well, I want to quickly ask, there have been multiple occasions where people have asked you to provide evidence for said claims, and you haven't backed them up. Why?
Sorry, I literally have sent all evidence to the CC. Just because she doesn't distribute the evidence isn't my issue.
So why aren't you distributing it yourself?
Because
it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, and now they're making
literally
excuses.
look in
That's
general.
why.
I'm
No, I
sorry,
do. I do want to hear.
You are such an idiot. Literally look in general. It goes, shut up, you sad lady. And that's not the only thing you said. So sad.
It's diverting from the question about job centre, and now you're talking about somebody who calls you.
No, I do want to hear this.
Literally look at the Hansard. It literally says, shut up, you sad lady. And this government is acting.
Oh, boo-hoo.
But is it-
Insults have been thrown around all the time.
I'm sorry. This man is Oscar's puppet. You might as well just bring Oscar. Yeah, but
And yet you're calling someone else for calling you a sad little lady, and yet you're now calling me Oscar's puppet.
Oscar hasn't got the balls to come here and attack me, so he's got to get one of his lapdogs to attack me. So
This is just hypocrisy at its
Okay,
finest.
hold on. I will say that this was noted, but yeah, I don't think the CC actually commented on it.
Another deputy said disband the Greens, and then it's just appalling, their behaviour. Just appalling, and they have the decency to attack.
At this point, if you're not going to turn up to sessions, then yeah, maybe we should disband the Greens, or at least get rid of you from your leadership position. If you're going to keep boycotting for ridiculous reasons.
I was actually democratically elected by my party. Your leader,
yet you're not serving your constituents.
Your leader wasn't.
Yet you're not serving your constituents as they deserve. Why?
Okay, well, I would like to quickly wrap this up, so I'll hear Bo's response, and then we'll wrap up the stream.
This chubby man also on the stage said, I noticed that there's certain members heckling us, but it's only because they're not like us. Well, that is simply not true, because I would hate to be a mess. When you look at their benches, all you see is big fat messes.
When you look at our benches, all you see is activity and commitment. When you look at the opposition benches, all it is self-serving.
You've chucked that out the window. You've chucked that out the window, you idiot. You don't even know what you're talking about. Sit down. Literally. Another deputy said, and perhaps even then, so the only changes that opposition are friends across the bench know is the nappies they have to change for their poopy policies, when most of their policies are actually similar to my policies. So I don't see how they're attacking me or other parties. But this just shows how chaotic Irish politics is, because you got
thanks to you.
guy. No, hold on, shut up.
Thanks to you.
I'm speaking. No, I'm speaking, Fatso. You be quiet.
Right, can we not throw personal insults, please?
I'm fed up of it. No,
and yet you're calling something sit out for being told that you're
I will say I haven't.
Or whatever it is, and yet you're calling me Fatso.
Be quiet, Nicky.
Right.
Noah. I'm not talking.
I'm going to pause you both there, because it is now nearly 8:30 p.m. and the door adjourned like 5-10 minutes ago. But I thank both parties for coming up and representing themselves. I'm sorry if I came off as a bit biased towards party. I'm just trying to ask more pressing questions, because I feel like that gives better answers and such. But but it also forces parties to, actually think about how they're answering. Anyway, I thank you all for watching the duel today. I'm going to quickly bring up something that was shared to me by one of the clerks. All opposition TD's absences for tonight have been marked as unexcused, so I do believe that will be, well, if you get 2 of these, then that is a strike. So they are at heavy risk of being striked then, and I think a few members will already be striked for other unexcused absences. But I will say, yet again, just to wrap up tonight, the opposition did not turn up to the duel today. I think the government gave a few speeches. I'm not sure if they voted on the motion of confidence against the CC. I personally didn't see it. But it might be done by the Discord, so... But I thank you all for tuning in tonight. I hope you all have wonderful evenings and enjoy the rest of your Friday. Because I don't know about you, but I love my Fridays. Anyway, good night.